Welcome to W Cube. Be calm and enjoy the process. Here, the next basics topics numbers. In Python, numbers are a fundamental data type used to represent numeric values. There are several types of numbers in Python, including integers, floating point numbers, and complex numbers. Here we see the brief introduction about the integer, floating point number, and complex numbers. Let we declare a three variable like a, b, c, and we give a integer, floating point, and complex number. A is equal to 1, then b is equal to 1.0, and c equal to 1 plus 2j. Now we can identify the class type of these variables, that what type of number or what type of data type that's stored in this variable. Let me see. Type A, comma, type B, comma, type C. You just get separated by some comma or semicolon for your identification. Let's see. Yes, here's a class int of the type A. The A variable stores the integer value, that one. The number integers are a whole number without any decimal point, that has. And second, b is equal to 1.0. The 1.0, the type b, is a class float. The floating point numbers are represented as real numbers and can have decimal points in it. The third one is type C, class complex. It's a complex number type. The complex number types has the both real and imaginary part, denoted by as like a plus bj, where a is the real part, b is the imaginary part, and j is the imaginary unit. Let me see the operations that are worked with these types numbers, and the basic operations like arithmetic, comparison, or equality operations in numbers related with Python. In Python interpreter, you can add or subtract some basic operations in numeric values use without assign a variable to the value, like 2, 3, 2 plus 3, or 5 minus 4, like and all some basic operations in it. What are the operations that we use in Python? The arithmetic operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are the basic arithmetic operations that are involved in Python, that addition, subtraction, multiplication, reminder value that we call as modulus operation, that is a division operation, and double slash is a floor division operation that results a quotient value without a decimal point in it, and double asterisk is an exponent operation that we called as a power 2. It returns the value of 4 that we declare as a double asterisk in Python, that called as a power of value. Did we see the each examples of these operations in Python by denoting the value to its variable, that we call as num1 is 10 and num2 is 20. Let we add that num1 plus num2 and subtract num1 minus num2, divide num1 slash num2 and floor divide double slash num2 multiply num1 asterisk num2 and get a reminder value, that is module operation num1 modulus 2 and the power operation num double asterisk num2. These are the basic arithmetic operations that are involved in Python with integers, float, or complex number values that will result the operations of what you made in Python. For the basics level, let we return the variable value, what that returns actually to it, add, it's return 30, and subtraction, multiplication, division, floor division. Here are the major difference between division and floor division. In machine language, you give the number, the two numbers, and divide the two numbers. It will exactly give the approximate result of the value. But in the floor division, you can restrict the floating point in the value and will return only an integer value. It will not return a floating point value dot 0.5 or 0.1, something like that. That was the floor division is about. And modulus operation, it returns the remainder, and power operation, it returns the power of the first number followed by the second number operation. This is how the basic operations are work in Python. The operations are made by a presiding order. That what I mean by presiding order is the operations you given in a sequence of a single variable you allocate for the value. The operations are done by a priority order, like how the priority order or reads by, like it started with parenthesis, asterisk, exponent operation, and asterisk, and division, addition, and subtraction. I will give the example for how this presiding operations works in Python. Let you give variable is that equal to num1 num2, that asterisk of multiply by num1 minus by num2 and exponent by num1. Let we call the value, it will return the value of C. First the num2 and num1 and num1 plus num2, or asterisk and num1 minus or num2. There is a some confusion between us, but the how the Python works is by the presiding operation method. It will first operate the value that enclosed with parenthesis, like num1 plus num2, then followed by asterisk num1 and minus num2 and exponent of num1. After finishing the parenthesis operation, it will goes to num2 exponent num1 by the presiding order. After closed by the parenthesis, it will go to the exponential order num1 asterisk double asterisk num2. After dealing with this, it comes to again here this parenthesis value asterisk num1 value, because after exponent there will be a asterisk symbol called multiplication. So after the second operation, the third operation will be operated as the parenthesis whole value into num1. After that, finally it will reduce the value, that like subtraction value of this value to this value. This is how presiding operations will be done in Python. The other some basic operations in Python that we used with numbers or comparison operations. The operation that we called as our assigning, equal to, or not equal to, or greater than, lesser than, greater than or equal to, or lesser than or equal to. These are the operations that are used for comparison operations in Python for numbers, numeric values to operate in Python. Let's see one by one by each example. We get the above value of num1, num2, the same number for these examples also. Like num1 we called as equal num1 double equal to num, not equal num1 not equal to num2, greater num1 greater num2. Forgot to put the equal sign symbol. Lesser num1 lesser num2 and greater than or equal to num1 greater than or equal to num2 lesser than equal to num1 num2. Okay, let me call the value variable one by one, that what the value are stored in, that resultant value are stored in that variable. In this operation they will resultant only boolean expression, whether it is the comparison is true or not, because it does not gives a value like addition or subtraction, or the what the value that operate and give the remaining value of product or multi product or division, modulus, like and all. It only returns the boolean value of comparison operation. If the num1 equal to num2, if the operation is correct, it will return the boolean operation true. Otherwise, if the operation is wrong, it will return the boolean operation false. By calling the value equal, it will return false. The num1 is 10 and num2 is 20. That is not equal to. But you calling not equal, it will return true. The numbers are not equal for the above examples of number 1 and number 2. Greater, false, lesser, true. Greater than, equal, spell the name wrongly, false, and lesser than equal. Mistakes, sorry for that. Equal, it's true. The basic comparison operation that we all did in mathematics, that what's Python do with the numeric values in Python, These are the basic operations are used in Python to do some operations in your project levels, or make some things like how will works the comparison operation is like, if you're working with the file, you may ask your project of coding like, if the file is there, you should print those characters in this file. Likewise, the operations are good enough to work with those types of things in project like you're going to up to do. These are the basic operations in numeric contents in Python. The end. Hope you all liked it. Give some thumbs up and look at my GitHub and Discord account link that I given below to know about more updates for videos and program learning journey. To subscribe for the channel to become a programmer. Bye bye.